Argentina survived one of the most dramatic matches of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Argentina 3, Egypt 2. A crazy match, a painful night for Egypt, a terrifying scare for the world champions, and another unforgettable chapter in Lionel Messi's World Cup story. This was not supposed to be easy, but nobody expected it to become this dramatic. Egypt came into the match with confidence, emotion, and belief after their historic win over Australia on penalties. They were not just happy to be here, they wanted to shock the world. They wanted to prove that beating Australia was not the end of the story, but the beginning of something bigger. Argentina, on the other hand, came into the game as defending world champions. They had Messi, experience, quality, and the pressure of being expected to win. But from the first minutes, Egypt made it clear that this would not be a comfortable night. Egypt started with bravery. They were organized defensively, aggressive in the duels, and very dangerous when they counterattacked. Mohamed Salah was the key outlet. Every time Egypt won the ball, the first idea was clear. Find Salah, attack the space, and force Argentina's defense to run backwards. Argentina had more possession, but Egypt had the sharper emotional start. The first big shock came when Egypt took the lead. Yassera Ибрахима scored and gave Egypt a massive 1-0 advantage. It was the perfect start for Egypt, a goal that changed the atmosphere completely. Suddenly, Argentina were under pressure. Suddenly, the Egyptian fans believed in a miracle. Suddenly, the world champions had to chase the game. For Egypt, that goal was not only about the score, it was about confidence. It told the players that Argentina could be hurt. It told them that this match was possible. Argentina tried to respond. Messi dropped deeper to receive the ball. Julian Alvarez made runs behind the defense. McAllister, Enzo Fernandez, and DePaul tried to control the midfield. But Egypt's defensive structure was excellent. The Egyptian backline stayed compact. The midfield worked hard to close the spaces. Mostafy Šubir was calm in goal. And every time Argentina got closer to the box, Egypt threw bodies in front of the ball. Then came one of the biggest moments of the match. Argentina won a penalty. It felt like the perfect chance for Messi to bring Argentina back into the game. The pressure was huge, but this is the kind of moment Messi has lived through many times before. Messi stepped up, Šubir waited, and then Šubir saved it. A massive save, a huge moment, a moment that gave Egypt even more belief and made Argentina even more nervous. When Messi missed the penalty, the entire match changed emotionally. Egypt suddenly felt that destiny was with them. Argentina looked shocked, and the pressure on the world champions became heavier. Then Egypt struck again. Mostafy Ziko scored the second goal after a brilliant counterattack involving Salah and Egypt's quick forward movement. Argentina 0, Egypt 2. What a moment for Egypt. This was not luck. This was not a random attack. This was exactly Egypt's plan. Defend with discipline, wait for the space, and attack quickly when Argentina lost balance. Salah's role was very important. His movement forced Argentina to respect the counterattack. His presence created panic. Even when he was not scoring, he was dragging defenders, opening passing lanes, and giving Egypt a dangerous weapon in transition. At 2-0, Argentina were in real danger. The defending champions were staring at elimination. Egypt were dreaming of one of the biggest upsets in World Cup history. But this is where champions show character. Argentina did not collapse. They increased the pressure. They pushed more players forward. They moved the ball faster. They forced Egypt deeper and deeper. Egypt defended with heart, but the pressure became too much. Kристиан Ромеро scored Argentina's first goal. Argentina 1, Egypt 2. That goal changed everything again. For Argentina, it was life. It gave them hope. It gave them energy. It reminded everyone that this team knows how to suffer and still come back. For Egypt, it was the first real moment of fear. They were still leading, but now Argentina believed again. And once Argentina believed, the match became extremely dangerous. Just a few minutes later, Messi appeared. After missing the penalty earlier, after carrying the pressure, after being frustrated by Egypt's defensive shape, Messi found the moment he needed. He smashed in the rebound and made it 2-2. Argentina 2, Egypt 2. This was the moment where the match completely exploded. Messi had gone from penalty disappointment to hero again. The stadium erupted. Argentina suddenly looked alive. Egypt, after playing so bravely for so long, were now under enormous pressure. That goal showed Messi's mentality. Many players would disappear after missing a penalty in a knockout match, but Messi stayed in the game. He kept asking for the ball. He kept searching for space. He kept pushing until the moment arrived. And when it came, he finished. After the equalizer, the match became a battle of survival. Egypt were tired. Argentina were pushing. Every clearance mattered. Every tackle mattered. Every second felt dangerous. Egypt still had moments. Salah tried to carry the team forward. Hassan and Zico looked for space in transitions. But Argentina had taken emotional control. The world champions could smell the comeback. And finally, Argentina found the third goal. Argentina 3, Egypt 2. A brutal moment for Egypt. A heartbreaking moment after such a brave performance. But for Argentina, it was the completion of a comeback that showed experience, mentality, and championship DNA. from 2-0 down to 3-2 up, from disaster to survival, from shock elimination to another step forward. Now let's talk about the biggest moments of the match. Egypt's first goal was about belief. Yassera Ибрахима gave Egypt the perfect start and forced Argentina into discomfort early. It was exactly what the underdog needed: an early goal, confidence, and pressure on the favorite. Egypt's second goal was about counterattacking quality. Salah helped create danger, Egypt moved quickly, and Mostafы Ziko finished the move. That goal showed Egypt's best weapon: speed in transition. Messi's missed penalty was one of the biggest turning points. Mostafá Šubir made a huge save and gave Egypt the feeling that they could really eliminate Argentina. It was a massive psychological moment. Romero's goal was the start of Argentina's comeback. It gave the world champions hope when they desperately needed it. Messi's equalizer was the emotional turning point. After missing the penalty, he responded like a champion. He did not hide, he did not give up. He scored when Argentina needed him most. And Argentina's third goal was the final punishment for Egypt's exhaustion. Egypt fought with everything, but Argentina had the experience to finish the comeback. For Argentina, the biggest positive is mentality. This team was 2-0 down in a World Cup knockout match. Many teams would panic, many teams would lose control, but Argentina kept fighting. They trusted their quality, pushed until the end, and found a way. The second positive is Messi's character. Even after missing the penalty, he stayed decisive. He kept influencing the game and scored the equalizer. That is leadership. That is experience. That is why Argentina still depend on him in the biggest moments. The third positive is attacking pressure. Once Argentina increased the tempo, Egypt struggled to escape. The movement improved, the passing became faster, and the pressure finally broke Egypt's defensive structure. But Argentina also have serious warnings. The first warning is their slow start. They allowed Egypt to believe. They allowed Egypt to score first. Then they allowed Egypt to score again. Against stronger teams, that could be fatal. The second warning is defensive transitions. Egypt hurt Argentina on the counterattack. Salah and Zico found dangerous spaces. Argentina's defenders were exposed when the midfield lost balance. The third warning is overdependence on late heroics. Argentina cannot keep relying on dramatic comebacks. At some point, they need to control matches earlier, defend better, and avoid giving opponents hope. Now let's talk about Egypt. Egypt lost, but they should leave with pride. This was a brave performance. They scored twice against the world champions. They defended with heart. They forced Messi to miss a penalty. They were minutes away from one of the greatest World Cup shocks. The biggest positive for Egypt was courage. They did not play like a team afraid of Argentina. They attacked when they could, defended with discipline, and believed in their plan. The second positive was the counterattack. Salah's influence, Zico's movement, and Hassan's energy gave Argentina real problems. Egypt showed that they can be dangerous against elite opponents. The third positive was Mostafá Šubir. Saving a Messi penalty in a World Cup knockout match is a huge moment. He gave Egypt belief and kept them alive for long periods. But Egypt's mistakes were also clear. The first problem was dropping too deep after going 2-0 up. It is understandable, Argentina were pushing, Egypt wanted to protect the lead, but when you defend too deep for too long, against players like Messi, Alvarez, and McAllister, eventually the pressure becomes dangerous. The second problem was fatigue. Egypt worked incredibly hard, but in the final stage the team looked tired. The distances became bigger, the clearances became more rushed. Argentina found more space. The third problem was game management. At 2-0, Egypt needed longer spells of possession. They needed to slow the match down, win fouls, waste Argentina's rhythm, and keep the ball away from danger. Instead, Argentina kept coming back again and again. Still, Egypt can be proud. They did not lose because they were weak. They lost because Argentina are experienced, ruthless, and mentally strong in the biggest moments. For Argentina, the advice is clear. Celebrate the comeback, but fix the problems quickly. They cannot start matches like this again. They cannot give opponents space in transition. They cannot rely on Messi to rescue them every time. For Egypt, the advice is also clear. Build on this tournament. This team showed spirit, structure, and attacking quality. With more experience